welcome back to the Crochet Crowd as well as my friends at yarnspirations.com. Today's the Swift Sweeper crochet cover. Great for cleaning, a reusable product that you can use. I have a dog, certainly there's a dog here, and it definitely is something that I can use in my life. So I want to show you how to make this thing today. It is a one-piece unit that is folded over and then secured, and we're going to be focusing on this today. It is suggesting, Red Heart Scrubby Smoothie, but I don't have that in stock, so I'm just going to use my Lily Sugar and Cream. You'll want to use 100% cotton for this particular concept because it is probably get wet and stuff, and so that will be the best thing, and then you can toss it in the washing machine with your laundry in order to clean these. So let's begin our Swift Sweeper crochet cover now. 5mm size H crochet hook today. Welcome to my channel, and I'm here to inspire you, give you crochet advice, and help you along with your next project. If you enjoyed this pattern, please give me a thumbs up or even comment so I can gauge your interest. It helps me to know what to film next. So as we get started today, just grab another spare piece of yarn so you can mark the right side of the project. It'll help you when it's saying to fold things over. And you'll know what the right side is just in case you can't identify it. Let's start off with the slip knot. This is classified as easy, which is one level up from beginner. And we need to chain a total of 19. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, and 19. For those experienced, this feels big, but you know that when you go across the first row it always condenses. So let's do the first section now. So row number 1, let's do it, and you're going to go second chain from the hook, and we're going to just do a single crochet in the back loop only of your chain. I call it the back hump normally if you are a regular follower of mine. And what I want to do is when I get all the way across, I want to mark this side as the right side of the project because you'll see that on the pattern it says row 1 is the right side. So if we can identify it now, it makes your life a lot easier. Even as an experienced crocheter, I don't always get it right, so it's easier to mark it so I don't have to sweat the small stuff when I get there. Let's go all the way across, and I'll see you at the end of the row, and we'll mark the right side before we turn. Now just come all the way across. So what I want to do is just remove the hook out, and before I turn it, just grab that spare piece of yarn or a stitch marker, and I can always find spare yarn, so I tend to lose stitch markers like crazy. I have no idea why. It's a bad habit. And I'm just going to put this through just up a strand just so I can see it in the future, and this will come out. So I'm looking ahead in the pattern. So it turns out the flaps on the top side of the Swiffer or the Swift Sweeper is actually a different texture than the bottom. So what we're going to do now is when we turn the work, the next rows from 2 to 14 will just be all single crochet across. So let's do rows number 2 through 14. I'm just going to give you instruction, and then you can just do those rows on your own. So now rows 2 through 14 is all the same. Just chain up 1, and starting in the very first one right there, you're just going to single crochet yourself all the way across, and then you'll turn your work and then single crochet yourself back. So each time you pass a row, just mark it off. I just wrote the numbers 2 through 14 on a spare piece of paper, so I'll check it off my list as I pass each of those rows, and when I come back I'll have that done, and then we're going to move on in the pattern, and then we're going to do the underside of the Swift Sweeper next. So now I have up to row 14 done. So this is the fold over that is going to go on top of the sweeper. Now the remaining of this section here at the base that we're about to do is changing and depending on what size you're doing. So the small size is about a 10-inch sweeper, and then the large size is about what does it say, 17 inches. And so that's what you can do if you would like to change the sizing of this. If you have another product that you want to match to, the next part here should just match the length of that product if you would like to do that. So I'm gonna do the small version because that's what I have here at my home. So we're going to do row number 15, and row number 15 is gonna help us get started. I am going to change the rules in this pattern. Now I ran a tutorial recently where I always screw up on a half double crochet a row, and I always miscount because of it, and I always eliminate stitches. So I'm going to tell you that chain 2 in this particular pattern that it says it counts as a stitch. I'm going to have you change something. This is a tutorial, so if people that are just reading the pattern, they'll never know it, but I'm gonna show you what I would do if I were me, or if you were me, so that you would not miscount. So let's try 15, and if you prefer it like the pattern, just do like that. So I have a problem with half double crochet. It creates holes in the sides of the last stitch, and so how I eliminate this is that when we do row 15 you're just gonna chain one only. So don't chain two and don't count that as a stitch. So you're gonna go into the same stitch that this is coming out of, and so you're gonna start off and you're going to do a half double crochet. Then it states that you need to do another slip stitch in the next stitch. So this is going to create texture. Okay, so now in the next one you're going to do a half double crochet, and then you're going to do a slip stitch in the next. So it'll take a little bit of time. So just half double crochet and slip, and do this all the way across, and I'll meet you on the other side in just a moment. And you will get used to changing back and forth. This is like a crinkle stitch as well. When you get all the way to the other side, the last stitch is a slip stitch. The way that they design this is that it's a one row repeat because the ending is finishing differently than the way that we started. So let's do now rows number 16 through 38, and this is going to be for the small size, the 10-inch, and if you're doing the large size you need to go from 16 all the way to row number 66. So to start the next row, what you want to do is that this row here is going to be your half double crochet to start. So you're just gonna chain one only, and this is me breaking the rules, and in the first one, because it's a slip stitch, we need to put in a half double crochet to make opposite to what's in there so that these bumps will all then mesh together. So the next one, you see how it's larger? This is always gonna be a slip stitch, and the next one, do you see how it's sunk down? That's going to be a half double crochet. So you're essentially putting in the opposite to what is already below, so that it creates that texture and also creates the tightness of the material as well. So it's a great little thing to do. Sorry, I just dropped my stitch. So I just need to go all the way across just using the same thing, and I will just review one more time as I come back across just to show you how to restart an edge, because the edges will always be started the same way because of the counts that they provided us right in the very beginning. So if we're doing the last stitch should be, this is half double crochet, the last stitch is right here, and that'll be a slip stitch. So you'll always end up with a slip stitch. So when you turn, you have to chain one and apply a half double crochet into that slip stitch, because that's your first stitch, and again you're making opposite to what's already there. So this is the half double crochet below, so it's gonna go to single crochet, but the starting of the rows are always gonna be the same. So please do the amount of rows that you want to do for your size. If you are customizing it, you can stop this bottom portion anytime you wish, and then you'll just have to create the next flap for the other side. So I'll see you back here in just a few seconds. I got a little bit of work to do before I get there, and I'll be back in a moment. So now I've just finished up to row number 52. You'll see that it's 10 inches from where I changed it, the stitching to where it is, and so that works out. And so if you are using the bigger size, you'll need an extra ball of Lily Sugar and Cream, but I will put a note on the video by now. So I'm going to now finish off the remaining of this. So we're going to do now the remaining rows of 39 through 52 with just single crochet each, and if you're doing the extra large size then it's a 67 to 80. And what I would think about doing is just kind of fold it over where it changes and then just match the length of the existing one and save yourself some counting, right? So I'm just gonna chain up one and just apply one single crochet in each to stabilize it back to the single crochet rows again. So please finish up to row number 52 or 80 depending on your size, and I'll meet you back up. Do not fasten off yet though, and we will do a final border as we go around. So here's where I am at this point, and the sides match each other. We have the dents here, it's like your hose dents. So what we want to do is we want to do a complete border for this before we fold it over to form the cover. So right where we are when we finish, we want to turn our work, and on the side edges here, these small edges, we just want to slip stitch, and then on these edges here, the long ones, we just have to evenly space single crochet out. So when you get back to the other side, you're just going to slip stitch here all the way across and then single crochet back. So right when we start, we're just going to begin, and we're going to slip stitch in each stitch across. So just coming into the stitch, just slip. This helps secure the edging to be even more dense. So you just want to do that, and then what I want to do is that when I get to a corner I want to chain one so I can turn the corner and just work my way down, and I'll be there in a second. This project is much faster than I expected it to be, which is awesome. Some projects I just like it to be on and off the hook fast. So I'm slip stitching right to the end, and when I get to the end I want to chain one, and now I'm going to equally space out my single crochets. The nice thing about these ones here, those are single crochet, so a side of those just gets a single crochet each. So each row gets a single crochet, and then when you get to the dense part right here with the slip stitching, you just have to evenly space it out. It does give a number of 62 evenly spaced single crochets across, and then the big one is 90 if you would like to do it like that, or you can just evenly space it out and just go with the flow. You can decide what works for you, and when you get to the other side here, chain one, slip stitch across, chain one, and then single crochet back, and then you're gonna end right here where we started, and then we're gonna do the fold over and do the final preparation to make this a permanent cover, and I'll be back in a moment. So I'm just coming up all the way across as we come around, and then this is it, and this is where we want to fasten off, and we want to get rid of this yarn tail and just slip stitch it to the beginning slip stitch that you started with. It'll be tight, but that's what you gotta do. So now let's finish this yarn off, and I'd recommend that any yarn tails that you do have, you throw it through a tapestry needle. This is a working item, so you want to make sure that everything is gonna be in nice. Now we can tell the right side versus the wrong side. This is the wrong side. How can I tell that? Let me just back you out a bit. Do you see the stitch marker that we marked? It's right here. So this here is the right side, the good side. So when we go to fold things over, we're gonna fold it like this, and the right side will be facing up like that. So let's just show you how to weave in the ends. So just with the tapestry needle, the best way to do this kind of concept, and let me bring you back closer to the table here, and you need to split plies when you do stuff like this. So just going through, just stay on the back side of this, do not go in the front because you don't need to, and if you can wiggle your needle through some ply work, it will hold much better. So I've been recently seeing complaints on people weaving in ends and they falling out, and they're apparently doing this concept, but if you break those apart, those plies, they're much harder to get out, and good luck if you ever have to frog it. No. Okay, so I want to do that. So now we want to just grab 4 pieces of spare yarn, and what we want to do is position those into place next. Let's do that. So using 4 pieces of spare yarn that you have, and you want to just fold it over to that position right there, and we're going to use this and just kind of pin it into place. If you really don't want to, you probably don't have to, but I'm doing it because the instructions say to, and I'm also doing it just so you know because I tend to be lopsided sometimes. So it's easier just to kind of pin it, just to hold it into position. If you want to tie it into a bow tie, and you can take it out when you are happy with that. Don't tie it tight, you don't need to, it's just holding there. Actually, I'll just do that. So just come to the other side, and I want you to pin all your pieces together to create the fold over, because we have one more row to do on each side here, and that row is going to hold this all together permanently. So fold the other side over and pin it down, and I'll be back in a moment. So let me just rotate this around. So what I want to do now, and you can see that the right side is facing up because I have it marked, is that we want to start on one of the edges, and so just grab your yarn and ready to go. And we only want to favor the interior loops when we go to do the slip stitch across. So right at the fold, you want to just grab the interior loop. So in crochet there is the front loop and the back loop. You only want to, in the front one here, the first side, you only want to use the back loop, and in the fold over you only want to use the front loop. Those are the 2 interior loops. So we're just going to join it, and then we're going to continue then. So do the back loop on the front one here, and then the front loop on this one, and you're just slip stitching it into place. Now this strand here we're going to get rid of later, and so you're just going to do that. So you're just going to slip stitch until this flap runs out, and then you're going to continue along the main piece and then continue to the other flap when you get there. So I will see you at the section right here at the end, and then before we jump over to the main section in just a moment. So I'm just finishing up this flap. This is where it's marked, and that's it. Okay, once that one's done, you can get rid of your stitch marker out of that position, and then just on the same ones, just stay on the interior only, because that's the only side that exists at this moment. So stay on the interior and just slip stitch until you get to the next flap, and then continue the same idea, then going across once you get to that. So this is the stitch marked one, so just kind of pull it together and do the back loop on this one and the front loop of that one, and slip stitch. And once you're happy with that, you can get rid of that stitch marker too. So I need you to go all the way to the end now, which is over here, which just will take a few seconds, and then we're gonna fasten off. I'm gonna show you how to, and then I'll rely on you to do the other side, and then your project is officially done. Once you're at the other side and done, now just for tutorial reasons, so I'm very transparent with you, I'm gonna leave the other side open, not because you should, but because I have a live tutorial that I have to do for Yarn Inspirations, and it will be coming out prior to this coming out. So my goal is to leave that open so that I can demonstrate with people what it looks like before it gets closed, and so therefore that'll make sense, hopefully. So when you get to any woven in ends, all you just need to do is do exactly what I just showed you before. So you want to weave it in. So I would go onto the interior of this, try to wiggle it and make sure that you try to separate some plies, and then just come out somewhere. And when you pull on it, pull snug, but don't pull it so you're changing the shape, and just wiggle it back in the opposite direction. And then one more time. So any loose ends that you'll have, you'll do that. So this is going to conclude today's project. This here is the Swift Sweeper cover, and it's neat and it's practical, and it's something that you can use over and over. You can toss it into your wash machine and it's good to go. So do your other side, and that's it for today. Hopefully you have a good one, and we will see you again another time. Bye bye now.